The question posed today is, while science is based on logic, spirituality is based on beliefs. For scientific minds, it becomes difficult to accept spirituality. How do we reconcile the two? Let me first explain to you why the leap of faith becomes necessary in spirituality. In one of my programs, a gentleman got up and said, "Swamiji, I am not willing to accept that there is a God until you can show him to me." I said, "Definitely. Can you please get up and let me know if Champak Lal Bhumia is sitting amongst the audience?" He said, "No, Swamiji." I said, "Get up, take a look." He insisted he would not be able to. I said, "Why?" He said, "I do not know how Champak Lal Bhumia looks." I said, "Precisely. You do not know how God looks. Even if I were to show him to you, how would you conclude that he is God?" Now, when it comes to detecting things with your material instruments of science, spiritual entities are beyond it. Just like this body has various parts and you can detect the temperature, the blood pressure, etc. But the soul is divine, beyond the realm of the material instruments. So for its existence, a little leap of faith will be required. That kind of leap of faith happens in science as well. If you studied geometry, you're familiar with Euclidean postulates. He postulated a whole lot of things. For example, his first postulate was that if there are 2 points, there is only one line that can pass through them. And the whole Euclidean geometry was developed based on it. However, one gentleman came along called a Riemann man. He said, "Let me assume differently. Suppose that between 2 points, there are 2 or more lines that can pass. This is my assumption. Now let's start." He developed a whole new geometry based on the hypothesis called Riemann geometry. And then along came Lobachevsky. He relooked the 5th postulate of Euclid, which states that if there is a line and a point, then there is only one parallel line that can pass through the point. Lobachevsky said, "Let us assume that there are multiple parallel lines," and he created a whole Lobachevsky geometry. That was the one that Einstein used in his formulation of the famous equation E is equal to mc square. Now think, are we not making assumptions in science as well? So why this hesitation? I need to see everything and only then I will believe. I am reminded of the joke that when Kaka Hathrasi was on his 3rd floor flat, the building caught on fire and people below put out a mattress and said, "Kaka, please jump." Kaka said no. They said, "Why not?" He said, "I don't believe. You will hold it strongly, put it on the ground and then I will jump." They pleaded, "Kaka, you have faith in us." That leap of faith is visible in science as well. Today, scientists have concluded that there is a Higgs boson. The decision was made in 2012, even though till today nobody has actually seen the Higgs boson. But their calculations have led to the conclusion there must be such a particle, which is not always existing. It is created in the collusion of particles, and that also in 1 billion LTE conclusions. One Higgs boson is presumed to be created. Now, if you're not willing to have that leap of faith, how will you progress? Likewise, people say that if I can see God, I will believe Him. There is a procedure to see God. What is that? The scriptures say, purify your heart. And once it is absolutely cleansed, you will be able to see Him. Nirmal mana jana so mohi pava, mohi kapata chala chidra bhava. Now you are not willing to follow the experimental spiritual process of purification to see God. And your insistence is, I must see Him today no matter how impure I am. Then this will never lead to realization. So how do we reconcile both science and spirituality? Let me read about it to you from my latest book, Questions You Always Wanted to Ask. Blend both science and spirituality in your life. Consider the two aspects of your personality, the body and the mind. The body must be kept in good shape through material science, while the mind must be cleansed through spiritual science. Hence, the Vedas inform us that there is no conflict between science and spirituality. The Mundaka Upanishad states, Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva paracha tatra pararigvedo yajurveda samveda atharvangirasa itihasa purana shiksha kalpo vyakaranam niruktam chando jyotishamiti paraya yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. There are two kinds of knowledge that we must cultivate: material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Material science helps us understand external nature and harness it for our bodily comforts. Spiritual science helps us understand our inner nature and manifest the divinity of the soul within without taking the support of spirituality. Science has its limitations. Science has got no values. It puts technology and power in our hands, but does not inform us what is the good or the bad use of that power. That is why the modern technology available today, such as stem cell technology, genetic engineering, nuclear technology, and today artificial intelligence, are all creating dreads in the hearts of thinkers and sociologists that these should not be misused. Take a look at what has happened in the last 300 years. While science has evolved rapidly, alongside with that, we have witnessed the rapid depletion of non-renewable mineral resources of this world, the deterioration of the world's environment, and phenomena such as global warming. Besides that, science doesn't have the ability to purify our mind. The great scientist of the last century, Albert Einstein, stated, "Science has succeeded in denaturing the plutonium atom." Today we have that technology by which we can split atoms and manifest nuclear power. But, said Einstein, Science cannot denature the evil in man's hearts. If we wish to purify our mind, which is the cause of bondage and liberation, we will need the help of spirituality. We don't need to contradict these two, rather recognize both as bona fide bodies of knowledge. As the Vedas say, two sciences, one which is studying the external phenomenal world and helping us utilize it for the maintenance of our body, and the other that is enabling us to purify our inner world and manifest the divinity of the soul.